Our team will get started with day 4 for our automation testing, um, and specifically for AnyAUT certified tester. So team, while you're all going through this journey of still not understanding what is AnyAUT and what does it do, we are building what is a conceptual solution for any automation or any QA team that requires to automate its process. So as part of this team, give it another 3-4 days before you fully settle in as to how we are doing things, where we're going, what is it that's going to be the direction. But primarily it's very simple. How do we execute tests? So for example, there is a customer test that's currently running right now, and how do we build such tests that are handling without any user interruptions in the background? So the whole art of what we need to and how we accomplish this is what the industry is looking to. So you might be someone who's currently in a QA job who's moving to automation, or someone who's maybe absolute beginner to it. But the point is the quality assurance domain or the field requires you to know multiple automation tools. And that is where you need to be smart about making sure you not only know them, but also have project experiences around them, team. So please make sure that you focus a lot on what we're doing. If you're planning to be a QA automation engineer or an SDET, then this is the training for you. All right. So what did we do, team? We went through a lot of progress. Let me switch back to our workspace. We haven't done anything in Eclipse so much. I'm going to kill my automation run that's going on. How far has it gone? I'm going to quickly look at my results, team, because I don't want to run it, end it in the... Mhm. 1 second, team. There you go. Just going to quickly look at report and see how long it has gone. It should have, 1 hour 44 minutes. So this goes for about 2.5 hours test. So, and 93% is not a good one. So far, there's some tests failing. So we have to look, at least it should come to 97%. About 4,000 steps running. So, okay. Sorry, team, I had to, I'm going to end this task. Okay. I'm also going to get out of my remote desktop. Okay. All right. So where are we, team? Selenium Ide, we were doing a lot of things there. And I think let's continue with that Selenium Ide so we know where we are. So I'm going to click here, open up the Selenium Ide and open an existing project. I did save the one we were doing earlier yesterday here. So I'm going to open that. All right. So here's my application, and here are those 2 simple tests that we did on Selenium. So team, yesterday when we were going through, we were talking about the command and how we can go and look at all the commands that come here and what does that command do in terms of the action, activity, the method that we will perform on that specific element, and that is given out here in the target. Then there is a value which is our test data. So this primarily is able to help us do automation, team. So if we have 3 columns, is it enough to do automation? What do you think, team? If you have these 3 sets of data, command, target, value, would it be sufficient for us to perform automation? Can I get an answer from everyone? Get involved, team. Don't waste your time just by joining these sessions. Just involve a little bit and look at what you can do to yourself there. Are these the only three necessary commands? Partially, yes. No, yes, 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 yes. May not be all the times. No. Team, not everything can be achieved. I think from an exceptions of a few things that cannot be automated or whatever, that is fine. But in terms of how we put information, so the same information, if I give to any other automation tool, will it be able to work? So now we have a search and we have a login incorrect. This is login incorrect. So with this information looking here, can we write a Selenium Webdriver code team? See how I'm trying to navigate between these two at the same time. There is not much to master in IDE, Selenium IDE, but when we look at our WebDriver code in Java Eclipse platforms, then you will start seeing that, okay, this seems to be much more complicated. When we say complicated team, just the way we look at things. And team, one of the things that you must know is the fact that your career in QA is a lot dependent on your skill of automation. So please don't shy away from automation or the fact that, you know what, I'm not good at coding. Everyone who can rightly do it the way kind of explaining, you will definitely master this. There's no question. Some may take 3 months, some may take 6 months, but eventually you will. So, team, the answer to my question is yes. These three sets of information are enough to execute any automation step. If we can give this right information correctly, then we are all set. Be it in IDE of Selenium or using your Java Eclipse platform. Okay, so 1 second. And team, I know so far it's been all one way. I didn't give you too much chances to work on things, but hopefully, yes, we will start doing. There's a lot to do on practice. I'm going to move you all into projects also. So there we have a few more. So task list outline, I don't need. I got my two windows of what I want to see team side by side. So I'm saying Selenium Ide will execute like this. And I have Selenium Webdriver here. How is this called Selenium Webdriver? Very simple. So if I go to file and I say new Java project. So team, at this point, I'm assuming you all have, but if you've not installed, then let me quickly. Yes, I'll walk you through how to do that. Very simple. First, Eclipse, not actually first, Java. Oopsie, where did I go? Java Development Kit. And team, please do note, and I'll write it here. We are not going in detailed coding yet. Okay. So we're still at a very basic level. And what I'm giving you are basic instructions based on that. Java Development Kit. So what is Java Development Kit, team? If you want to develop any Java apps, you need Java Development Kit. Where do you get it from? Oracle.com is the place, but I would only do Google and I'll say Java JDK download. Okay. I'm using Windows team. Whatever I'm doing on Windows, you can replicate the same on a Apple Mac or even on a Linux platform and so on team. The frameworks and whatever we do will work. So team, like, you know, the easiest way to know what Java is, very simple team. The fact that it will let me execute this program anywhere. The same code I'll put and any kind of a platform it will execute. That is the beauty of Java to begin with. To know that okay, how is it that it's able to execute? Will take us a lot of 2-3 years at least into the career of in the IT team to be able to associate how come Java is still so powerful. But for all of us who want to download JDK Java Development Kit, search, go to oracle.com. You will find the link to the latest version for your platform. I'm going to take this link and put it here too. And out here, we're saying JDK 13 is the latest one, and you could download out here, team. So this, let me also do the download so that you all understand. And so this is basically now you get a sorry, what was I saying? Okay, Java Development Kit. Let's accept the license, and mine is a Windows 64-bit. So I can take an exe that's executable or a zip file, which I have to unzip. So I'll take an executable, that's fine. So once I click on it, it should be able to take me to a page to download, or it's downloading it right away from here. So it's going to take a couple of few minutes, team, to get there. So that's your Java development kit. The next one, team, will be Eclipse. Eclipse, what is Eclipse? Eclipse is nothing but when we are doing coding, right? I can look at the same code in this fashion. It's all black and white. There are no colorings on it. There is no way that I can uh, execute it here as is. I have to go to the command prompt and run these codes. Instead of that, an integrated development environment like Eclipse makes development easy. Everything put into one place, so it will help you to work on that eventually, team. So for you to get onto Eclipse, very simple. Eclipse is an integrated development environment, like I was saying, IDE for Java primarily, but it also does for other communities. You don't have to worry too much, team. Just go to Eclipse IDE. This is the latest one. They've stopped using the different names. I think now they're using year and number, month. That's fine too. Um, and I've come here, download. So it's recognized that mine is a 64-bit Windows machine. So I'm going to click on download, and it is taken to me to one of the servers to download and download this. So we have two things so far that have come our way. Eclipse. Where's the Eclipse download? Just copying it. And thank you for downloading Eclipse. It's kind of downloading, team. So now Eclipse will assist you to write and run code. And team, please do note, we will go very detailed on this when we get to the next section of our training. That is all that we're going to do. Java programming, from linear framework all the way to all the different types of frameworks that are available, hands-on. We will go deep into them. So what we're trying to do is just show you how you can quickly download and install. Installation is very simple, team. You just have to kind of double click and go through the process. The next is Selenium Webdriver, or what is also a server right now there, and Chromedriver. These are the minimum things you read, team. So where does Selenium Webdriver come? So go to seleniumhq.org, and you go to the download tab out there, and we have the Selenium standalone server. So for this is needed to, in order to run remote Selenium WebDriver. So team, there is a new version that's coming out. Let's not worry about it. But as of now, most important is you can download the latest Selenium version here. Okay, that becomes your main jar file. All right. And the next one, if you scroll down a little, you'll see all the browser driver files, right? From Mozilla Firefox, Gecko driver, the Google Chrome, and so on. I'm going to click on Google Chrome driver, and let's try and get the latest one, latest stable release. So once I clicked on this, I've come to Windows, by the way, team, just letting you all know in case it's a little confusion, 32-bit, 64-bit. If you have a 64-bit machine, even a 32-bit will work on it. The other way will not. So if you have a 32-bit machine, 64-bit won't, but 32-bit will work there. Either way, we're going to take this. So team, if you observe, these are the 4 main things that I've downloaded. Let me open up it up in a where they're there in the download folder. And when we create a new I'll create a new project just for the sake of it, and we'll work on that. All we are doing right now, team, is we wrote command target value here, 3 columns. Can I put a similar information in Eclipse and make that code run through Selenium Webdriver and Java? Okay, so where are we now? Show in folder. Why is this not opening yet? Show in folder. There you go. Okay, so these are the 4 files, team. I'm going to cut them right away. I'll take it to our training, but I'll not, where I'm zipping it, I'll avoid sharing all of these. But basically you have these. So do you see this driver files? Right? So I have Chromedriver here, Selenium server standalone. In this, let's put this latest one. And this is a WinZip file. So I'm going to unzip. Oopsie. It'll just have a Chromedriver.exe team. That's what we're looking at. Oops. I had an original version of WinZip also. Now it's not even recognizing it. Okay, did something. Finally, I got the Chromedriver.exe team, only one file in it. And I'm going to move this into the drivers, but it may want to replace that file. So we replaced it. So now let's try and understand these 4 components team one by one, and then it'll become easy for us. Okay. All right. So we have Java JDK. We have Eclipse. Oopsie. And then we have Selenium. And what else do we have, team? A Chromedriver. Right. Now, how is it that these 3 things work? Let us understand things. At the center of it, and most importantly, is your application under test. So your AUT becomes very, very critical here. Now, when we talk about interacting with an application, we know that it's a web-based application and everything is in an HTML format, and Selenium helps us to interact with it. So Selenium can go at the backend and identify what is where. So why do we require all of these additional things out here, team? So number one, if I want, if this is, let's say, Chrome browser, I need Chromedriver. Why? Because that is how Selenium will be able to identify elements in the application or pass commands to it and say, at this point, I would like you to do this. Team, there are a couple of questions in the chat. Anyone else stuck with questions? There's one from ting, 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 ting. In my organization, I'll come to that later. I have to go and cannot attend the rest of the session. Where can I get the recording? Okay, so team, recordings and all, I'll put it in the Skype chat. So let's not deviate. Anything relevant to the subject matter that we're focusing, kindly keep your focus there, and that's where I would love most of your questions, team. Anything is welcome as a question, but let's be focused on a topic. Now, so we're saying to identify these elements and to operate on them, like, type on it or click on it or read text from it. How do we do it? Chromedriver will do it, team. Now, the primary difference between Selenium, when I say this is nothing but Selenium Webdriver. Webdriver is a master class in which we'll also have Chromedriver, a variation, a Firefox, a Safari, an Opera, an IE, an Edge, browserless or headless rather, versions and so on. WebDriver is the basic commands of how we can do. But if I want to work with Chromedriver, I need that as well. So that is where Selenium WebDriver and Chromedrivers are coming to. Now, what about JDK and Eclipse? Eclipse is very simple. Whatever I want to do with Java, I can do it with ease in Eclipse. I can write code, maintain code, execute, build the code. I can deploy the code. I can do a complete integration and continuous integration, continuous delivery or deployment. Um, these things are highly feasible with Eclipse team. So when we look at Java as a programming language, it brings us multitude of features. There is no limit to what it could do in a programming world. Now, with that being the perspective, we want to use that power of Java to play around team. So basically what is happening with Java is a lot of focus will be there that what are the Selenium commands. Now, all the commands that you remember here, open, click, 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 type, and so on, all of these are built into the Selenium WebDriver. It knows how to pass the same command to the browser, to our application under test. Okay. Java gives you the ability to make it even more better and better, parameterize it, program it, logics into it, algorithms, and so on. So Java helps you to customize your test and the way it works. Selenium WebDriver helps you to identify or work with any browser. Chromedriver is a small, or rather a child of Selenium parent WebDriver, where it is customized to work with Chrome. Eclipse helps us to do Java better. Is that fine, team, everyone? Any questions on this so far, team? And you will slowly start realizing, team, something, the concept about jars and so on. I'm not going to go into the depth of it. But if you're someone who's in the beginning level, these 4 instructions, Selenium WebDriver server, where is it? Um, and Chromedriver could be anywhere, but yeah, it'll be here. Cool. Can you please, can you please last few sentences, repeat last few sentences? Okay, sure, I will. What did I speak? So what we were trying to emphasize here is very simple, team. Selenium WebDriver and Chromedriver are helping us to identify the application and work with it. What elements are there, how to perform it, which step comes first, what I want to execute, how I want to execute, what I want to put there. Your Java will help you with it. And to write the Java programs, we're using Eclipse. All right. Now, let's go to Eclipse. Where's Eclipse? Here. So in Eclipse team, I'm not going details. I mean, we are actually touching about a lot of them. But what we will do is go to File first and create a new Java project. And this is ACT. I'll say ACT2. Each time we'll create new projects here. And all these files I'll share with you, team, as we keep finishing one project at a time. Now, where am I? Here. Okay, this is the first empty project team. So for me to create a code in it, I'll just right click on source and say new Java class. And here I'll just say this is, we used AACT3, right? But let's use AMC underscore one, for example. Now I want to take my old code and put it out here. So I'm going to copy this, actually just this, and put it here. For the first things and most important, change the name of the class so that it always matches with the file name, which is AMC underscore one dot Java. Now it does not recognize all this. I don't know why yet, or rather, let's figure it out. Now, this is my program team. If this has to run, how will I make it run? I have to make sure all these red lines are going away. And Eclipse helps you, team. If you look at the same in a regular code, you would notice there's hardly any, suggestions, guidance. You're in the blind. You've got to be very, very carefully looking at things. Eclipse gives you that comfort where you're at least able to go through a few things quickly. One second, everyone. I live in Los Angeles and we are so scared of the fires right now out here. It's heavy, team. Just the wind, Santana winds are the way they're blowing. All right, where are we? Webdriver. So, team, if I take my mouse over it, it will tell me, is there something that can fix it? But in this case, it doesn't even have a solution to it. And the main reason being that it does not know what a WebDriver is. It does not know what a Chromedriver is. And that becomes a challenge for it. So for us to be able to get these, we need those Java jar libraries. So these are the inbuilt Java runtime environment system library that comes built in, but we will add our own. And the way we will do it is right click. I'm just doing it, team, right now. I'm not doing anything much. So properties, Java build path, libraries, add external jars. We're going to go so deep into this every day for the next 5 weeks. We're going to spend on this, team. So we are here, we're in the drivers folder, and I think we moved everything here. So these are the same ones, see? So it doesn't matter which one. Let me take the latest one and say, okay, you know what? Apply and okay. Now let me take my mouse over WebDriver. At this point, it will give you a new feature saying that, you know what? I can import this and make this code work. So for a library to be recognized in Java, we need to import it. Do not focus on anything that I'm showing here right away. What is import, public, private, static, class, void, main, arguments, all of this, do not worry yet, team. We'll go very deep. Just that if it's looking as simple as this, how can it execute automation tests? So now you see by importing this, this WebDriver issue has gone. This is the Selenium WebDriver, the master parent class. Now under that comes a Chromedriver. Oh wow, I didn't. Where is it importing from? Properties, Java build path. I didn't even add that. That's interesting. Let me run this once. AMC underscore one. It is going. That's cool. It didn't even take that. But I think that the main reason being what? That's okay, team. Let's not worry on that. Okay, great. Now, how do we take this test and write the same here? That's our question. So predominantly everything about the test is going to remain the same. Now let's try and link them to each other. For the first few steps here, team. All right, actually, you know what I'll do? End of my test. Here is my first step. And in Java, when I want to write a comment, I will basically put 2 forward slashes here. And I'm going to say this is open the application under test. What is my next step, team? Is to set window size. Okay, I'll do that to here. And here, see, we're saying maximize it. if you look at this word carefully, and then the third step for us is to click on, I don't know what it is. And the next one is also a click on team. And then the fifth step is a type email address. All right. So team, for us to be able to do this, the simple steps that we have is very, very easy. First, I need to know where my browser will be, where the application is going to get launched. And that is pointing by this word called MyID. So I named it as MyID. I can also change it to my driver. This is small additions that we will do to the code team. Now, if I change it here, now Java does not know what was MyID because we had to declare it. So let me not go deep into explaining these things team right away. And now it's going to be able to work on this same application. Let's rerun once again. So each time I'm writing a code, running it. Selenium IDE, this is how we do it. Now we're going to try and do this here. It opens and closes. That's about what it does. So now we need to click on something, team. To click on something, the way we do it is very simple. I'll call my driver dot. The first thing that will come out to us are the multiple options that we have that we can perform on it, on this driver. And each of them are the commands that we can also look at, team, for a browser. But here, the first thing is in the application, you got to find one element like the target here, and then you can perform a command on it. Now, to find the target, we use a methodology called by. And as soon as I say by, I would get my different variations here as to what is there and so on. So here, I'll just say by CSS selector, shall we use this? It's got this here. It's not a class name, CSS selector. Let's try this. And in the brackets of it, I'm going to take this values team. And please make sure you put it in double quotes. What happened to this? Okay. I need a bigger one. So far, all that we did in this team, go to the browser, find an element by using the same methodology that worked in IDE. And then we're going to do what team on this click. So as soon as you hit a dot, you will see the methods that you can perform. So unlike Selenium IDE, you have your commands here, and each of them either on record or you keep typing it here. Similarly, on a WebDriver level, there are inbuilt commands for each element or type, and then we can call them accordingly, team. Actually, for all elements, the same methods that we have. Now, I'm clicking on this. That is the method that I'm performing. Then we're clicking on another one that also has a CSS something. I'll copy this whole value and put it up here. If the CSS fails for any reason, I'll switch to XPath team. And then what is a type email address? So almost the same, my driver.find element. What did we use here, team? The recognition is name is email. So I'll take the same one here. So instead of saying by CSS selector, I will use the name. These are the same ones, team, that I was showing you earlier about element identification. The different ways: ID, name, link text, partial link text, tag name, XPath, class name, CSS selector. So you could use these to identify them. That's all it is, different ways to identify. So here we're going to choose name, and the name that we have as a value is email, and let's take it and put it here in double quotes. Now, what is it that I want to do here, team? I want to type something, right? That is the command that we have here. So unfortunately, there's nothing called type within Selenium Webdriver. And that is where you will see that, hey, you know what? In Selenium Ide, I have a few commands, but they don't have the exact same name in Webdriver. And that's absolutely okay, team. That's how it's been created for us. But all that is important is where and how do we apply that. So type blah, blah, blah. And let's say that's it. Now, does this code work or not? I don't know. What happened here? So, oh yeah, why did I even write that? So that actually is send keys, team. Send keys is the more frequently used version where we are having to type something. So we take a set of keys and we send it into that field. And let's see how this works if I run this, team. If any issue happens, Eclipse will kind of identify it and tell us. It'll stop the test and it'll throw a runtime error. It's going to AMC. It's navigating. It faced errors. Element click intercepted exception. Yeah, I know. This pop-up that's come up now may be affecting it. Do you see this, team? Was it there earlier? Was it there every time? How about Selenium IDE? Let's run it here and see. I just maximized it. No, it didn't get that. See, the problem also is, team, how it's opening it up. See, Selenium IDE is not opening it like a private browser. It's opening it up within itself. And sometimes we may get this, sometimes we may not get this. But if you go to AMC Theaters in a private browser like this, I think it will come up, that pop-up. See, for sure, always. So anytime you go, it's coming up. Now, if I need to automate this, I can click on no thanks or let's go or this. I need to identify any of these, correct? So I'll right click, team. Let's click on this. Let's go and inspect. So I've come here. There's a button here and says let's go. So ting, 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 and this will happen here after maximize. I just got the HTML code roughly out here, team. So what do I need to do then? I need to go to my driver first, dot, find the element by, and team, we can probably use class. This class btn primary may also be here. Oh, btn default. This is primary. But we have the text for that button, so that's fine. By dot. Let me do XPath for once, team. Just show you the difference between XPath. We'll go into deep this way. / button, open square brackets, and is it text or @text? I think it is @text equals, or for now I'll just use class because this is common. It's unique for it. Equals all of this. Dot. Oh, sorry, I didn't end the double quote. See, double quote started all the way here and end of square brackets. put in the double quotes, and then we have a dot, and we're going to click on it. And that is what we're going to be. That is how we're going to accomplish this. Now let's see. Earlier issue, I'm not doing debugs yet, team. Just showing you the approach of how automations kind of behaving for us. Okay, it clicked on let's go. And I have one more now. Get more with AMC stubs. And maybe that is affecting it as well. There you go. And it'll give the same error saying that element click intercepted exception. Is not clickable at point so and so. Other element would receive the click, and that's why it didn't do. For do two buttons. Okay, let's see. Do I need to do this as well then? Let's go and get more AMC steps. So you see, if I'm trying to click on this search, the lens icon, it is not till I close this. So inspect, it's a whole large thing. And for this, as of now, I'll just say copy and get that entire XPath. And I'm going to put it here. Oh, it's a simple one. It had an ID, is it? I didn't see. Okay, ID is icon is close. So here again, I'm going to repeat this. And I cannot have double quotes within double quotes team. So please change this to single quotes. We'll go through this in more detail. Dot find element dot click. And this should be able to work. The same command I can also write. See, this is using XPath. I can also write by saying that we will use by dot ID. What did I do? Something happened. Yeah. ID. And for that, I can just give the name of that ID. I can underscore close. If I give, that's sufficient for it. And team, just for your information, I've not automated this application earlier. So it's all about trying team new applications. Not everything is automation friendly, but majority of it we could achieve. Let's try this now. Same step has been repeated twice. You're right. Sorry, it should not. I should have commented one of these. I can still change it, but the code is running. Ting, 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 ting. No such element exception. Name equals email. Where is it? Oh, it's come here. So that's good. But let me comment this and rerun this so I know exactly what's happening. And let's observe the application itself, team. Wow, the whole class is done with just playing around. And but team, it's all about playing around with applications. It's getting a great idea about what we're trying to do here with automation specifically. Where is the sign in? Where is the click? Click is here. So which step did it fail? Java 28. Oh, here? It failed here. Let me get the XPath for it and see. This is a good, decent XPath. It's a position. It's saying the first link. I'll kind of walk you through all of this team as we go advance forward. This is even more worse. That is where programmers have to be a little bit more automation friendly for us. Okay, I'll take this as one XPath. Let's try this. Team, again, once again, cautioning you, I've not gone through explaining XPath identifications and all that yet. Um, just using what is there to show case how things are working. Now, this should hopefully work. And this is just the CSS selector issue that I was not comfortable. Otherwise, even that should work, team. What about the next one? XPath. I have this button type, second type of button. Okay, no. This is a position based on the others, so it's absolute. That's a challenge. But for now, doesn't matter as long as it is able to identify and work with them. Let's try now. It did not. Why? Again, where is it coming? Line 29. We closed it. Let me make it sleep for a while. I don't know if there's anything else that could be a challenge. Throws exception is there. So that's good. Always save resources. This X would not interfere. Mhm. Oh, it clicked on it. If it clicks, it'll come like this, right? But it didn't fail on line 20, 30 right now anymore. Failed here on this button. You know what? Now let's try again. In the next 2-3 sessions, team, we'll be able to wind up with this application AMC in general and see how it works. Okay, now you go. So here is where now we are able to replicate the same test that happened in Selenium Ide out here, team. And for us, the only big difference was identification of the elements. This is also correct, team, but I did not give it the right way. There's something wrong about this. But the same one, when I take it as an XPath or ID and so on, didn't have an issue. Again, like I'm mentioning, it is just the way we are doing something wrong here, not about the tool. So the only other thing that I introduced in between is I was asking this application to wait for 2000 milliseconds, or right now changing it to 1000 milliseconds between these steps. So what happens is your whole this automation in a hurry to go step by step. It does not wait for anything. And either you have wait statements that deliberately do all that for you, or let's see if it puts it in the data. Did it put an email? No, it did not. Why it did not put email now? It wants, oh, maybe it was too less for it. It was waiting. But what the best way to do it, team, is to set the browser timeout. And we'll discuss this tomorrow. Not tomorrow, team. We have a lot more to do on the basics before we go advanced there. My driver dot manage dot I don't remember also teams, so we'll see. I think it's timeouts only. There's timeouts dot implicitly wait for 10 seconds. I think it's called unit dot seconds. Let me see from the earlier code. It'll be easier. Ting, 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 navigate. Where is the timeout? It's not in this one. Selenium Webdriver implicit timeout. Implicit wait. Code. Let's see. Yeah, implicit timeout unit. Okay, there you go. That was the difference there. So it is time unit dot seconds, not unit dot seconds. It's called time unit dot seconds. And we should be able to import this. And rerun this. And this time I'm going to, and team, I've crossed the time for today, but I'm just going to comment the sleep and run this. Primary team, as you keep going along, you'll understand and realize that it is, you got all the control here, and how powerfully can we do it is going to be very critical for us. What happened here? Another issue on clicking here. I think it's still unable to wait because this is just pop-ups, right? Browser has waited. Now I know exactly. These are just pop-ups, team. So browser is already loaded. So it has to wait for those little time. I've kept 2 seconds because it takes time for it to get back to that original after closing it. Maximize. Team, after this execution, we'll see tomorrow, and I'll continue from where we left. Any questions that are still unanswered from today or while you're practicing, please let me know. We will face a lot of challenges like this, and each time we will try and kind of better the learning into it as well. Wow, it's still an issue. Oh no, it didn't. It kind of all worked fine. It did type everything and it closed. So that's kind of cool. Anyone questions, team? I see one hand raised. Do you have a question, Jayashree?
Yeah, Karthik, the WebDriver, Eclipse, Java, they all should be in the same folder when you download.
No, no, not necessary. It can be anywhere.
So it can be in the C program files anywhere, right?
Correct. Anywhere it can be in your drive. All you do is in the properties, in your Java build path, we go to libraries, and when you say add external jars, tell where that jar is. So for example, this jar I added from drivers.
Yeah.
So I can delete this and add it from the other one that we created here itself. Oh, actually we moved everything there. So you can pick the specific one, whichever folder it is. Only for where the Chromedriver exists, we give as a property, a path to that property variable, which is WebDriver, Chromedriver. So whenever it wants to interact, it will go there.
So we need to download Jdk, Eclipse, um, Selenium Webdriver, and Chromedriver also. Okay.
Correct. These are the 4 ones you require
Okay.
to get started. I'll
Will
also
this
put this
video
in
be
chat.
available tomorrow or today, tonight?
Tonight is a good question. I can try and upload. It takes an hour to convert, and then I'll do it. And there was another question from someone else about the
Okay.
video. Team, please note the videos are all in the channel. So if you go to youtube.com/qtpelearn, you'll get it there. The video for these few sessions will be uploading it right there. Let me put it up in the chat as well. All right, great. So team, I'll see you back tomorrow, all of you then. There's one more question hand raised. Hello,
Hi. Hi, Karthik.
Bhargavi, I guess. Hello.
Hi, Karthik. Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Hello? Okay. So my question is,
Yes,
you were
you are
talking
audible.
about, okay. My question is about the private browser. You used private browser term. Um, so can you just explain it in detail,
Okay.
like what is private browser and how Selenium WebDriver is making it private, or how was it
Sure.
not able to?
Yeah. So if you look at this version here, see, Chrome is being controlled by automated test software, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, let's say I open a new and just go to amctheaters.com. It may also recognize me if I say sign in, okay?
Okay.
Sorry, team, bad throat. So sorry, sign in. It doesn't have anything for me. Oh, sorry, why am I doing it on the same one? It opened the same one. Okay, sorry. Chrome, right click, open a new window. And where are we going? So this is the regular browser team. In here, the cache and my login credentials, everything can kind of start getting recognized, and that is where the application will start collecting information, give you the details. So I sign in and I can see my account and so on. Now, when it comes to a Chrome driver, it opens in a way that is similar to when you click here these three dots and then click on new incognito window. That's what I meant by private. It was private browser, I think in IE, but it's new incognito window in Chrome. When I say that, it has got nothing to do with our cookies and history and so on. It will open up like a fresh new session, like a new user does. So simplest example, if I want to go to Netflix, if I say Netflix, it will go to my account in Netflix, right? But if I do a Control Shift N and then go to Netflix, I will see Netflix like any other user has seen it. This is how Netflix will look when the first time user comes in. And that is how we are trying to handle. That is where incognito window comes into guidance for us. Did I answer your question, Bhargavi?
Yeah, yeah. Finally, what you mean is, if automation is going on, it used
Mhm.
your personal window for the first time. Oh, no, no. It took as a new window, and so it was not a, we got all the alerts.
I'm sorry. Yes, that's correct. So if I go to AMC Theaters by myself, I did not get any alerts. And it's
Ah,
also
okay.
logged me.
Okay.
But if the same
Okay.
thing, if I did a Control Shift N or do a incognito window, and then we go here and say AMC Theaters, it will give us everything like it's gone to the first time user. The
Got it.
pop-up should come up. Hey, it didn't come
Okay.
up. Actually, I moved my mouse. That's why I think it didn't come up.
Okay.
I don't know why it didn't come up. See, it's still in coming. It's still not coming up.
So it's a dynamic kind of.
No, it is in AMC Theaters, but here when we went, it's not dynamic. It will play like that. Maybe we're still not seeing it correctly. But typically, if I need to replicate the same, those pop-ups coming, in incognito window, it should work. See here in Chrome, maybe it's working. Let's see. So I go to amctheaters.com and let's see if the pop-up comes up. No, it's not coming up. Now if I run this test, it will fail. And now if this test
Yeah.
fails, how do I know? And that is where we will put our try catch blocks, exceptions. They will say, if the pop-up comes, click on it. Otherwise, don't worry. So let's see. Oh, now it's coming up. It is coming.
So automation handling the Chrome and how
Automatic
we handle the Chrome, they be different always?
will be will be different. How you handle will be very similar to the way you do in incognito window.
Okay.
It should work the same even here. Oh, actually, it's Chrome is being it's still through that. So, and team, do note as I take my mouse over also, right, on this application, it is not getting those pop-ups accordingly. So that movement's also affecting it. And that's why when we're doing it through the execution here, there's no problem. Now, the same thing, if I want to say that, you know what, I'm not sure if this pop-up will come. Like, which one was that? Is this the one? First one? No. This is the one. And then which is the other prop? I think these are the two ones, right? So I
Yeah,
can just
button
put them
private.
into try and catch. Exception E. Sorry, team, if you ask a question, I take little time to explain because this is critical. If something failed here, then I'll say, oopsie, pop-up, close, failed. And that's only applicable to these steps. My try catch, I've put it only here. So these steps, if anything fails, it will not care about it. It'll keep kind of going through it. Team, I'll continue tomorrow. It's taken long. But please, I really like the fact that you're asking questions. You're all getting into it. So please continue to do that. Bhargavi, good for now?
If you have one more second, I have another
Sure,
question. You were
sure.
talking about MS Office Excel, like we need it for
Correct.
during automation process. So I'm looking for a shared license kind of options because it's like a little high at my end. So if somebody would like to
Yeah,
share, or
yeah,
you can provide me something like sharing other team
sure.
members.
So worst case, you can also use Open Office.
Uh-huh.
So Open Office will also help us with it. So
Uh,
I will work
I'm just
with you
looking
on it.
if somebody, if I'm looking for
Uh,
somebody else who are
with a license,
new, just
you,
new like me,
uh-huh.
uh,
Uh,
if they would
almost everyone
share
should
or
be.
okay,
No, I don't know. License ways, I don't know yet, Bhargavi. But we can use Open Office. Don't worry on that. Don't buy anything yet, team. But with
okay.
any of your Windows machine, Microsoft Office is not free anymore, is it? Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
There, yeah, there is we can use the. Don't worry, I'll guide you through it when we're getting there. Okay. So as of now, you don't have an Excel to work with.
Not really. I'm
Okay.
using something from the Google Drive as of now.
Google Drive, and that's a good solution. That's a good alternate for now. Uh, but try Open Office, please.
Okay,
Okay, so Open Office will help
okay,
us to do almost everything the same way. It will not have
okay.
everything like Excel, but kind of. All right, great. Someone else had a question. Sejal, did you have a question for me? Jayashri, your hand is still raised. I'm just putting it down. Sejal, I did unmute you, but I can't hear you. You did write a message to me. I'll look into that. But team, sorry, it's long session today. I'll see you back, all of you tomorrow then. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Bye all. Thank you, everyone.